grand final time.
Grand final time. Let's see who's going to win the first kickoff. And it kind of goes to T1. He's going to go over, grab the boost, and he's looking for a shot. Nope. Italic getting it out of there quick. Italic just trying to keep it away from T1 at the moment. He said, you can tell that he doesn't want T1 to start a play. And there, T1 goes for a bump, and Italic picks it up. He's carrying it down the field, and he looks for a shot. It's too high.
What a fantastic flick that would have been if that went all the way. Slightly pulled the trigger a little bit too late as T1 actually coming off the goal line here. This one's probably on target. Actually, it's maybe a little bit over. There it is. As Italic's going to be a bit quick about this one. Sending it right back down the middle. Guess who's waiting there? T1 shot 38 with a high one. Italic back over to the corner, unfortunately. That's where the boost is. And just like that, actually sending this one all the way down, forcing T1 to really retreat all the way back here. And that's actually a long shot. This one's on target. Is anyone going to be all the way back? Hang on, I was wrong.
But T1 just follows it up.
And there it is. I mean, like you said, T1 with the instant follow. Fantastic read off the corner. This one really could have gone anywhere. And Italic, probably just panicked a little bit.
A little bit. I think depending on your angle of view, you could be mistaken to think that it was going to go in off that bounce, but unfortunately it did not, and Italic was out of place. So nice little shot coming out of Italic. T1 was on it before it was even shot. Now he's going off the ceiling. See what he does. He gets that Musty on target, but Italic,
that one's on target.
Nice little quick counter play, and it's in.
And you got to question, I mean, we saw, at least on my left side of the bracket earlier on, T1 going for a lot of fancy Musty plates off the ceiling, and almost every time, bar one, they really did come back to bite him right away. Didn't put it on target. The touch was an optimal, and someone pretty much immediately went for the capitalization, and I'm surprised he's still doing it, considering the save strategy worked so well against Jordan. And just like that, he's back on the board again with his fantastic kickoff. Italic not quite hitting the middle of the ball, forcing him to the left. A T1 shot 38 regains the lead basically instantly.
Yes, it's going to be a fight. Obviously Italic's going to be fighting this one out. You saw T1 shot holding off Jordan. So it's going to be a close one here. Unfortunately, that kickoff went 100% in favor of T1 there.
And I mean, it's almost unfortunate it didn't go all the way in. Extremely close. And now we have a 2-goal deficit just within the first 1 minute and 30 seconds here as Italic this time just about winning a kickoff, but doesn't get the boost advantage either. So did he really win the kickoff? Who really knows? Now here comes T-shot. Potential flick opportunity. Puts this one up high. That's a backflip coming out from Italic. And already, T1 shot 38 is on fire, and Italic maybe feeling the heat.
Nice little flick, changing up the speed of it. He was going forward, and then as soon as he gets that flick, it's banger into the goal. Who's winning this kickoff? It's Italic this time. Is he going to make something of it? No. T1 gets it to the side. Now Italic, both of them with a boost. It's right under the bar, saved by T1. Oh, almost a demo coming out.
But this one might go all the way in. Italic's got to be very careful for this one. In the own goaling it. Now regaining possession, bounce dribble opportunity. Tries to get that power, but didn't quite get the placement either. Maybe the power wouldn't have allowed him to do so. Does get the boost as well. And T1, a bit of a sticky situation. However, boost was gained doubly from the midfield and from the back right corner. Now Italic will touch out to the middle as T1's going to try and beat into this boost. Opts out right away as he realizes he's not going to win. And Italic now currently backwards on the wall. He's going to let T1 go for this. Actually just gets the bump completely. Wave dash, maybe not.
Not even a wave dash. He just jumps to get it lined up and sends it in.
I mean, I was expecting a wave dash to come from this initial touch, but it was just a nice little hop, I guess. I mean, it looked pretty cool. Managed to score it anyway, and we've seen it happen a lot today. We've seen quite a lot of players just take their time somehow when they know they have it. Like, they could just shoot the ball in earlier, but they decide to take their time. Maybe it's a property of really good players, or perhaps it's just the PM setting in, but nonetheless, it's fantastic to watch. Speaking of fantastic, here comes T1, trying to get that dribble off as Italic gets a great dunk, almost the perfect play from him, and he brings the lead down to 3.
Yeah, that was a very aggressive play, and he completely smacks it off the hood of his car, off of T1's car. Just follows it up in. I want to see Italic come out with a little more, like, he's been aggressive, but just stay smart, you know?
I mean, his kickoff just isn't working out. Oh my goodness, he actually nearly saved that. That would have been incredible. But I mean, it's just weird. His kickoff is being perfectly countered by T1 every single time. And like you said, he's great on offense, but he's so good at offense. He's never really had a chance to be on defense. But who is also really good at offense? T1 shot 38. So I think he has really met his match here. He's being forced into positions he's uncomfortable with, and thus he may have a little bit of a hard time here as T1 snipes this one at the back post again, and now with pi minus 1 minute on the clock. He's now 5 goals ahead, and T1 is looking,
Look at that shot.
well, his performance against Jordan was justified.
That was a crazy little side flip. I mean, he was coming, like, I would say perpendicular to the goal, coming away from the goal basically, and he somehow gets the shot with that much power.
Oh, that's a fantastic
That's skill right
shot.
there.
Italic with maybe the most pinpoint perfect shot we've seen today. Check this out. He backs up for the boost. He gets one perfect touch and absolutely drills it back post. I reckon if that went any more left, it probably would have been saved, and any more right, and T1 would have got it. What a shot. T1 back on the aggressive again. Here comes a fake pop into Musty. Oh,
look at that
my
Musty.
goodness. Look at this power from T1.
Yeah, he gets a nice little chip and just a
Perfect.
beautiful. And it's just, the thing though is he got power, but the way he lined it up, it just had a little bit of an upward flick on it. And that's what it took to clear Italic from being able to save it.
Yeah, it's that unexpected vertical acceleration that can really make a Musty very, very, very prominent. And the same goes for a Breezy, actually, if you delay a Breezy long enough. Now Italic dribbling this one out of his defensive third. Actually, that's an open opportunity here. That one's on target. And
Look how
T1
aggressive.
getting a little bit too aggressive with the demo.
Yeah, he was just coming out like just chasing Italic hard, trying to get that demo, and by the time it was time for Italic to shoot, T1 was way out of it.
It says best of 3 at the top, by the way.
Oh, my bad, guys.
No worries. There it is. T1 shot 38 yet again. Coming in with an identical kickoff. Not opting to the ceiling shot situation. Does get the pop round. Open net situation again for T1. Shot on target. And it's almost the same story again. We saw this very, very same style of game happened earlier on when T1 was playing against Sergeant Boss. It was just so back and forth. T1, Sergeant Boss were constantly denying each other, and Italic is almost doing the exact same thing here, just unfortunately 5 goals down with 120 on the clock. There's plenty of time for that to change. With Italic just trying to delay his challenges here, going for this back right boost. Trying to maintain all of his opportunities to try and push this ball up, but with a suboptimal landing like that, T1 is going to take advantage. Now T1, potential Musty situation here. Can he flip this one back post?
Oh.
Goes for a demo, and oh my goodness. There is no answer. T1 is too dynamic.
Yeah, the thing though is, if you're Italic right now, you don't want to push too early. You obviously don't want to push too late. And when you do push, T1 comes out with stuff like that. Like, it's, at this point, you're looking at, what do I do? Because unless I just step up my own offensive game, my defense is going to have trouble no matter what.
Now that is incredibly unfortunate for Italic. He tried to whip something out, but T1, now that's either a kind gesture or it's kind of like a passive-aggressive, I want to save time so I can win a bit early, you know what I mean? He doesn't want to have to wait for another replay to come out. T1
Yeah,
tries
he
to get a nice
pinches
little
it straight
pinch.
across, and you know T1, he's a talented enough player. He didn't miss that pinch on accident. So
Yeah, it was more
Right
than likely
now,
just to maintain
he's just
possession
killing some
to
time.
himself. Italic just backflipping on the goal line right now, and both of these guys, yeah, they're vibing. They're admitting game 1 is over, and rightfully so. Italic would have a very hard time scoring 6 goals in such a time limit. And it looks like we're going to be going into game 2 as Italic sends an absolute clanger, but unfortunately, bounce not optimal. He's not going to put another one in, and at the moment, T1 might be able to put another one in himself. Here comes the edge roll, potential flip reset. He's found it. It's on target, and just like that, salt in the wound. excuse me, salt in the wound, nail in the coffin, at least for game one. T1 Shot is now obviously in the lead and in a really, really good spot to take this whole tournament.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he's showing his wow, my brain just went stupid on that one. Anyway, he's just playing amazing, and Italic, he's got to search. He's got to search for what to do next, because this is a problem for him. Are we switching servers now? Or are we staying?
Nope, it's all EU.
Okay.
It's all EU, baby. But yeah, oh, my bad. But yeah, T1 coming out with 15 shots. What more can you... well, it's not only the 15 shots, but I reckon out of those 15 shots, there was probably at least 6 or 7 different types. It wasn't 15 absolute boomer flicks. It wasn't, you know, 10 low 50-50s into a nice fake challenge, and then, you know, 5 normal shots. All of them were basically different. All of them... to be honest, a lot of them were stemming from a very, very optimal kickoff. And I think if Italic can really pin down where he's being beaten on the kickoff, this game may be a little bit easier. But the difference in the last scoreline would be obviously indicating more than a kickoff, perhaps. But nonetheless, here we are in game number 2. Will this matchup be boiled down to a best of 3? Of course, if Italic takes this game, nonetheless, he's going to score a few goals first. Italic with possession now coming off that left-hand wall. Fantastic fake chance coming in from T1, but he just gets demoed, and Italic makes the most of it. He puts himself up by 1.
Yeah, Italic actually, I don't know if I've seen him. He did one demo goal last match, didn't he? But this one, he just finally gets one of his own.
Yeah, he got a little bit unfortunate with one of them, but I think he did come out with it. Hang on a second. T1 going for the oldest trick in the book. The wait on the goal line. Fake kickoff. Didn't work out in his favor, though, as Italic's going to rush back if he doesn't want to get demoed. This one's looking dangerous. This one's actually rolled right in front of the net, and Italic forced to not pull the trigger since T1 Shot was right there. Be the devil, 13 boost to his name. However, Italic doesn't know that, so he's going to have to be careful. T1 pulls the trigger, and just like that, we're back to a tie game, and that's a little bit of a lousy challenge.
I'd like to bring out that was a super beautiful clinic on boost control right there. The thing, though, is T1, all the way on his way towards defense, he was not using boost because he could see that Italic was ahead of him and could grab every single boost along the way. And as T1 rounded the corner, he still had like 40 boost, went across the goal, had 13, and the fact that he had any boost at all to start the speed in that play is what did it for him.
Yeah, and that is definitely something that can highlight an incredibly high-level ones player. I mean, Khaled and Flakes are definitely very good at this, and it's the idea of dribbling along the boost lanes. And I mean, not necessarily along all of them, but especially the ones that go across the field. It opens up the space, and especially if your opponent isn't keeping an eye, they might think you have no boost, but in fact, you are effectively playing drop shot. You're generating boost for free. So it's good to see it's been demonstrated here by T1, but of course, Italic coming back with that fantastic goal from the midfield means the last goal wasn't necessarily a direct punishment. But regardless, as we got 3 minutes 43 on the clock, both of these guys really looking strong, and of course you'd expect it. What a fuck! Oh, I nearly accidentally said something I shouldn't. What an amazing flick from T138. Oh my goodness, the power on that one, going bar down as well. Oh my.
Yeah, that was a monster shot right there. Italic's just left out way on the left side there, and there's very little he could have done. Oh, this is dangerous.
Indeed. Oh my, that was incredibly risky. T1 going for a fake jump. Not the optimal play, because of course the fake jump is designed to make Italic jump for the ball, but in such a situation, if he made contact, it would have been dangerous. Speaking of dangerous, T1's got years to put this one on target. He hasn't even put it on target, and Italic's got another set of 8 years to put this one on target. That one is actually on target, and yeah, that's all my on targets for that play. Nonetheless, Italic getting a little bit fortunate with that one, and a little gift from God, perhaps. And just like that, has regained the lead again. Again, what you come to expect between two evenly matched players is all the games are fairly similar and equally back and forth, and that is exactly what we're seeing here.
Interesting little matchup right there. Italic, knowing that if he pushed it in the corner, He's gonna have T1 on his back right away. So he just decides to blast it off of him and let it go wild.
Now Italic with that far right boost advantage. He's definitely got the boost possession at this point as T1 Shot's going to make a meal of this one. Another boost grab coming out from Italic, trying to get this pop back into the midfield. Now, Italic back over to the right-hand side. Now, once again, getting those big boosts, but just don't check that out. T1 now with 100 boost. Going to have plenty of opportunity to boom this one all the way down, and that's exactly what he's done. It's also on target. What a fantastic shot from T1. Perfect mechanics, taking advantage of all that boost he just gained.
Yeah, that was one of those shots that, like, you can tell he's practiced it. That, I mean, in most situations, a bump like that for a player like T1 was probably a pass in 3v3s, but just aim it a little different, and bam, it's a shot.
Yeah, and I mean, there's just another one coming out from T1, a classic kickoff goal. Every single kickoff goal he scored has been from a ball rolling initially to the left, and just T1. Notice how good his flicks are, and he isn't doing insane flicks. He's not doing 180s, 45s, musties. Well, he did one, but he hasn't done, like, you know, a breezy. He hasn't done anything insane. He's just incredibly consistent at all the flicks that can generate power. And let's see if he can actually get a flip reset opportunity here. He's already got one touch, second touch, third touch. Gets around Italic, and to be honest, I thought this one was going off target. And now once again at pi minus 1 minute left on the clock. Gets an absolutely beautiful touch around Italic. Honestly, what the car control and ball control for that? Again, if that goes wrong, Italic's gonna have a really easy opportunity at net.
Yeah, and I love how, like, you were just saying how T1 can just generate insane power at any moment, but you were saying it as T1 was demonstrating that he could also just control it like crazy. I mean,
oh yeah.
And right here, another one where it's just pure speed. I mean, that's the trifecta, isn't it? Power, speed, and control. I mean, it's just, you put them together, and there's a reason why he's winning right now.
Yeah, it's just, what can you do when you've got such versatility and it works every time? But we can't keep praising T1's offense without criticizing the defense from Italic. He's pushing too far up. He's giving T1 the space, almost reminiscent of what Jacob was doing against Italic in the last matchup. He's not respecting the acceleration, but we have seen Italic pull off some outrageous plays on offense. But like I said before, he isn't getting many opportunities on offense in general. So if he breaks out of his own half, gets some good kickoffs under his belt, he really has a strong opportunity to tie this game up.
50-50, is that a potential goal? Yes, it's potential, but T1 coming in quick with every last ounce of boost he had. Now Italic's trying to get it away from his own goal. Italic sending it across the field, maybe not what he wanted to do there. T1's gonna pick it up, full boost off the ceiling. He's looking for it. He gets one touch. He gets the musty, and it is in.
Right. I mean, maybe a little bit. Maybe it delivered a little bit late than he might have wanted, but an absolutely perfect play nonetheless. Notice how that ball basically didn't even go down after he made the flick. So fast, so perfect. Great touch from him, and I mean, he's done it time and time again here today. And now he's 5 goals up again. He's looking in prime position to be on tournament point here, Blinken. He might be able to do it again here. One touch on the air dribble. Just going to fake it low. Goes in. I mean, to be honest, if you're Italic, you can't really do anything on offense at the moment. Everything T1 does basically has no solution.
Yeah, I mean, that's the control to be able to know that if he keeps going at the way he's going, it's going to be off target. So he had to go ahead and get to the right side of it, which in turn just worked for him as almost like a fake, you know? He not even a fake, it's more of a feint, you know? Like he goes to one side and he goes back to the other. But while he was in the air, you know, like...
Well, yeah, it wasn't even necessarily that. It's the fact that he got the first touch and baited Italic to think he's either going to drop the ball low or he's run out of boost. And what did he do? Italic jumped for it. And then T1's got him at strengths. Italic now can't come down and challenge. He just takes it right over him. And now, I mean, we just totally glossed over another goal from T1. But to be honest, it was a pretty run-of-the-mill goal, especially by T1 standards. He tries to send another one in, but that's a fantastic clear.
I mean, it wasn't a flip reset, like... super flick. I mean,
yeah.
No,
I mean,
it was another goal though. That's the thing. It's crazy at this point where T1's coming up with these like absolute nutty shots that a simple goal like that one right there we're kind of, as you say, glossing over it. I mean, at this
And I
point,
mean,
I
to be
think
honest-
Italic's just got to slow down and control the ball. If you look at it, he just keeps sending it away.
Yeah, so it's very strange. It's almost like T1 is changing his playstyle around no one being there. Italic is playing the exact same game he's been playing all game, and T1 has had limited resistance at times, but has still adapted. And I mean, to be honest, at this point, he's scored this so many times, we might as well just call this the T1 banger. I mean, check this out. Just, again, one touch into Musty. Italic waiting at the back post. You got to question, why is he not going? I mean, maybe he didn't have the the boost advantage in that situation. But to be honest, when you're 12-3 down, you got to question. It's all about mentality at this point, Blinken. There's nothing you can do in the game physically that will net you this game. So you have to prepare for the next and go for that full reverse sweep.
Yeah, it's, as you said, he's just got to get his head back in it and go for the next round. That's,
oh my.
At this point, obviously, that's all you can do. Maybe he'll grab one real quick to finish it off.
Oh no.
It's on the ground, but still.
That's very sad.
Like,
oh no.
We're looking at 2-0 in the series. And Italic, he's got to do
ready
something.
He's ready to go. And I mean, you see, we saw last time, we had about 4 or 5 saves coming out from either side. So it's not like the insane amount of shots coming out from T1. I really hope, I just realized, is this guy's name Tizshot or Tizshot? I really hope it's not, because I've called him T1 shot all day. But anyway.
I have too.
Nonetheless, there's been 15 shots for T1 going out both, there's been 15 shots sent down the other end in his favor every time, and there just has not been many saves. So a lot of midfield plays have been made, and usually when it comes down to a 50-50, Italic doesn't win them. But here we go, Italic going in hot. He's going to go straight away with the Fantastic 50. Immediately coming out, he wants this reverse sweep right now.
Yeah, I mean, he's got to do, like, it. That's a perfect start to this game. Now he's just got to stay in that mentality, not throw away the balls. As I said, he was towards the end of the last match, he was just kind of throwing balls away. Right there, he just opened up the space. Honestly, T1 could have made a goal right there if he would have just changed the direction, but I think
you want
he was
to know
thinking
why
that
it didn't go on target?
I think he was thinking that Italic was going to be able to save it there if he would have gotten closer to him.
I was going to say, it's because he didn't do a musty. That's why it didn't go on target.
okay. Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
That's the only way that T1 can score at this point.
Well, I mean, who can blame him? It's a fantastic skill to have, but Italic wanted to flex some of his own skills here, trying to go for a bit of an airdrop, trying to delay it, but...
Oh, he's almost trying to take a book from T1 last match. Nice little flick. Oh, Italic.
Here comes a good shot. There it is. I mean, what a fantastic pop-up. High Italic, forced to make it awkward. Didn't opt in to really sending this one pinching off the backboard. Wanted to try and get there before the ball did, and unfortunately, the misread did come. Just like that, we're back to a tie game, and this is exactly as it started before. Italic with that fantastic start. The T1 claws it back, and then almost runs away with it, but Italic's not going to let him. He's holding it in a lead right now, and he's saying, nah, fam, you're not going to run away with this one. His T-shot sends this one off the wall. And Italic is always going to be there.
Yeah, Italic seems to have come into this game with, like, a different blueprint for how to go ahead and fend off his opponent, and it's working out pretty well right now.
And Italic, I mean, like you said, is really demonstrating more of his offensive prowess that we've seen today, as Italic now on the right-hand side, 60 boost to work with. T1 all the way back, flip opportunity, Ominent. I mean, that's the absolute clanger, but T1 reads that one nicely off the backboard. Now, T1 does get it round, but is this one going to go all the way in?
Maybe not. Italic's got it.
Beautiful recovery.
Now he slows it down. See, this is exactly what I wanted to see coming out of Italic. Yeah, he might not have made that goal. Yeah, maybe he didn't make a goal before that, but here's the thing. Instead of just throwing the ball away, to where T-Shot can get a control of it and blast one. He's keeping it close to himself. There's another save. As long as Italic's not just throwing it away, he's got a chance.
Yeah, it really does change the dynamic of the game when you simply just change how often you hit the ball and where to. As Italic sends this one back over to the corner. T1 shot.
Oh, nice
again. Gets a demo. Now, I have to see how this evolves. I can't actually see the play. There
yeah, I was waiting for
Italic. Now, T1 trying to send this one off the wall. Let's have a wild guess of what flick he's going to pull out here. Doesn't make contact, and Italic, unfortunately, not getting the optimal touch on that one. And with only 9 boosts, he's only been able to put a lackluster shot on net. And T1 with a counter demo. He gains possession one more time. Here comes central flick from T1. Going behind him. Does take it away. Didn't want to risk going for the shot.
All right, guys. You know what? I just came up with the perfect name for that ceiling shot to Musty flick.
Oh my goodness. I mean, hang on, hold that thought.
That was a nice little flick.
T1 shot. Look at this pass. I mean, it didn't even go over Italic perfectly, but it didn't even hit the bar. Like that
Was that another
phenomenal.
Musty? Did he finish that off with a Musty?
Probably. I didn't really see.
But
It's mad.
all right. So ceiling shot to Musty when T1's doing it.
Oh, here he goes again.
We've got
Oh
it
my.
perfect. It's the Musty one shot.
It's the Musty one shot. Well, I guess it could be, yeah. I mean, it's kind of reminiscent of what Arsenal was doing at, I think it was Season 8 LAN of RLCS. He was just vibing so much, he just started hitting Musties at a LAN, at a World Championship, and I think that might be what T1, the approach he's trying to go with as well. And I mean, he's just feeling himself so much, he's just going to maintain his confidence. And Italic, I actually think, has more confidence than we all think right now. It's just very, very difficult to employ it to anything. You got T1 that's constantly making everything really awkward. And speaking of T1 making things awkward, here comes a potential flick opportunity. What's he going to do with it? She flicks this one up high. What a fantastic save coming out from Italic. Now with 38 boosts, his name goes for an absolute clanger. Is that one all the way
There
in?
it is.
Yes, it is. What a great shot.
That was a powerful shot. Like, even at the end of it, T1 tried to get a touch on it, but he didn't have the speed. He couldn't get the speed to get there quick enough.
Just like that, Italic back again with the lead. Sends this one over to the wall again. He's got an opportunity to score on this one. Unfortunately, touch not optimal. Maybe could have tapped his rear view and taken his time a little bit, because of course T1 was not opting in to go for the challenge. Put up high. Italic trying to follow suit with that one, trying to save himself some time. He gets pot round as well. T1 shot time and time again, demonstrating his vision. That's exactly where his opponents are at all times.
Oh, Italic, what are you doing? He shot for the corner boost, presumably assuming that T1 was going to go back.
Oh, yeah.
But
Very all-in move.
put him way out of position on that one.
But I mean, it's an interesting play to make, because you've got to take those risks in 1v1, but you sometimes have to weigh up the probability of events happening. It's not like T1 went halfway to the boost and fate challenged it almost. But hang on a second, that's a great pump coming out from Italic. We're actually seeing a little bit of a boost issue with Italic at the moment, and especially getting bumped out of the way of that one and nearly demoed.
The bumps, the constant bumps.
It did work out in the end, and that would have been disastrous for Italic. He did get bumped, excuse me.
Oh, he gets flicked past.
Disaster. Could have sprung disaster for T1 as Italic gets an absolutely fantastic flick coming off the wall. May have just won this game number 3.
Have we just hit the second saga of this series? Now Italic's going to be doing his grand comeback? Is that what's going to happen?
Oh my goodness.
This is another shot.
Oh my. Well, here we go. It's looking more and more likely game number 3 is going in Italic's favor. And guess what's happened, Blinken? The kickoffs are also in his favor. That's one of the things that have changed here. And T1, yet again, unfortunately, inches and milliseconds away from saving that. But nonetheless, it went in. And now 2 goals down. We've seen T1 bring goals almost out of nowhere and nearly right on command doing just that. But unfortunately, it did not go between the posts, and it wasn't going to go all the way in. Italic with a fantastic side flip flick. It is put away by T1. And now T1 shot 38 has a little bit of a mountain to climb here, as he is going to lose game number 3. You've got to question how he's lost one match point. Will it get to him and force him to lose another one? That one's too high, and just like that, Egg, aka Italic, is going to take game number 3.
Yeah, and that pushes us up to a game 4. At the start of this match, I hate to say it,
By
but
the
I
way,
was
I
really...
think the title said semis.
Oh, it does, doesn't it?
My bad.
I have 2 mods in the chat, and neither of them changed it.
Is Messiah a mod?
No, but Phenom and...
He's a very good mod. I would recommend.
Alright. We're going to be moving on to the next one.
Yeah, Red Pancake. Big clutch from him. He pointed out that it still said semis.
We're getting into this. This is potentially the last round. And we potentially have 2 more.
It's the beginning of an outrageous reverse sweep, folks. Here we go. Game number 4. Now, this really is crunch time if T1 shot 38 doesn't come out on top. The mentality may not be on his side, and Italic really started to up his game in that last round. So let's see if he can carry it through here today. T1 keeping this one low. No boost to his name. Actually flipped past the ball, trying to get this cut. He does get it, but unfortunately, Italic did not bite.
That's a bad situation for Italic. I saw him swing by the corner, and he missed the boost. So right now, he's rocking like 12 boost maybe. Now he finally got some.
Oh, God. Here we go again.
And there it is.
It.
T1.
I mean,
He didn't even go for the musty this time. He went ahead and did a flip cancel.
well, I think one of the main reasons as to why is notice how Italic, how low he was on that challenge. He was knowing that musty was going to come because, of course, the musty just sends the ball diagonally downwards. But getting that flip early, using that flip cancel, just kept the ball high, put it over him. And again, it's a great, fantastic mind game coming out from T1. He knows what Italic is always going to be expecting. And he knows exactly when he needs to realize it and take advantage. Now, T1 trying to keep this one close as well. Italic with another long shot, but this time it's not going to really do too much. It's only going to find his opponent, who now has 76 boost and plenty of time to work with. And, get this, has a wall. So let's see what he can do here. Flip reset opportunity. Flip reset gained. T1 shot 38. Puts in another one. The stylish man himself now has a 2-goal lead here in game number 4.
How do you fight this, Remy? Because this is the thing, like, Italic, the entire process, he's just sitting on his line. Like, but the thing though is, I know you don't want to push that too early. What do you do?
Well, really, the only thing you can do is not, again, I hate to say it, but don't put yourself in the situation. Italic going way too far back away from the challenge. He gave T1 shot 38 all the time in the world to set up the challenge. And then all you have to do is, oh my goodness, he slotted in another one. But anyway, I'll keep going. So not only do you have to prevent T1 shot from going up the wall in the first place, you have to make sure you're shadowing the challenge. If Italic can maybe get maybe a little fake jump in, maybe he can force T1 to change his trajectory, or maybe use the backboard a little bit more. He can just challenge freely without having to waste any boost. But waiting on the goal line for T1 to pull the trigger is definitely not an optimal move. And we sit here happen again. T1 shot. He's basically in free play for around 10 seconds there. And Italic joins his free play lobby and demos him. But you know what I mean? So he had so much time to work with that he actually was probably caught off guard by that. And Italic, coming out of nowhere, just going to slot the first one in for this game.
But does that play against Italic's defensive style, though? Because I don't know if we've seen Italic do a close defensive, like, style this entire tournament.
No, nonetheless, he hasn't come up against offense like this. That's probably why we haven't seen it. And T1, once again, with an outrageously effective kickoff. But yeah, I know what you mean. We haven't seen it today. That's in my eyes, the only way you can combat it is either don't let the situation arise, or kind of shadow defend with a fake jump, or use the backboard. Or obviously all of them situational. Here we go, T1 again with a quick kickoff. And watch, Italic's not going to go at the backboard here. He's waiting on the goal line to get scored on. That is exactly what I mean. Italic is not using the backboard, and he's not getting free elevation. He's sticking himself to the ground, and T1 takes full advantage.
Yeah, and I know what he's thinking there. He wants to stay on the ground, because if you're stuck on that back wall, there's only so far you can go before you have to go up. which then leaves your bottom open. But like,
Well, you can go
Italic's got
down
to
off
start
the
doing
back.
something different, you know?
Yeah, regardless of what he does, he's got to start switching it up. His T1 shot 38 nearly gets a fantastic dunk. And now, before we even know it, Blinking, T1 now against, you know, what we may have thought last game is now 3 goals up. I was about to say 4, and Italic is not going to stop. He's still going as hard as he might have ever wanted to. What a fantastic push from him. Brilliant 50-50 on the goal line. And it does sneak its way in. Italic is not counted out of this game, and he wants this reverse sweep.
He's fighting it. The fact that he's coming back, he's only 3 off. He has the opportunity to keep going. He's just got to stick to it, and as we've seen, don't let him get those setups. That's what we saw Jordan doing against him. We saw Jordan staying in his bubble per se, and it was a pretty close match.
Yeah, and I mean, I think the issue here is, again, there is loads of time, but Italic is not keeping an eye on his boost. He's being way too aggressive for the amount of boost he's had, and at that point, if you have no boost and your opponent has anything but not 0 boost, well, even if they have no boost and they're even a bit in front of you, I mean, they're gonna just, you can't catch up to them pretty much as long as you're both dodging, so you have to be incredibly careful.
What a save. Now T1. Once again, so much time.
Oh no, that's a double touch. Oh my goodness, clean as, I was about to say clean as Sheen, that doesn't make any sense, but T1 with a fantastic self-pop into clean double touch. I mean, you can't really get more clinical than that. That's a juicer right there, folks. You hit those in free play, you get a little bit proud of yourself before you move on to do it all over again. What a fantastic shot coming out from T1 shot 38, who really has gone back into his previous form in this game here. He's now up by 6. And to be honest, he's looking strong, and it does not look like he's going to break. That Italic may have broken a little bit too early here.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, it's crazy because I don't know if it's that T1 is adapting and Italic is not, or if Italic just keeps going through phases of figuring it out and then he loses it. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
it seems like Italic every once in a while he's just like, all right, I got this. I'm gonna get some amazing shots. I figured out how to get past his defense. I know how to stop him from his attacks, and then all of a sudden, things like this come out.
This one on target. T1 shot is just full. He's just too full of confidence right now. He knows exactly. I've said this probably 1,000 times, but he knows when his opponent can't challenge the ball, either after or before he has made contact with it. So he takes full advantage. And the Season 12 Dunk Master is now 7 ahead. And to be honest, with 140 on the clock, it is possible, but Italic got a small mountain to climb as he actually Musty's over to this boost now. Can he get this one underneath? Unfortunately, T1 shot 38 was there to make it before it got too dangerous. That's a quick flick, and that one's also on target. He's made 10, Blinken. He's made 10.
He's made 10. I mean, that's a +8 spread right now. With a minute and a half. To make
We've seen it happen before.
I mean, we've seen it, but to make 8 goals within an entire game is kind of impressive. Let alone when you're down by 8.
Coming off the wall with trying to attempt an air dribble. Does catch it though. Touch not really as hard as you might have wanted. Now Italic trying to air dribble this one all the way himself into a dunk, but of course T1 shot 38 has absolutely perfect ball control and sends this one over to the side. Now Italic 92 boost. Is he going to replicate, or is he going to try and go for a double touch of his own? Initial touch not strong enough. And now with no boost to his name, just like that, wasting all of it on the retreat. Leaves T1 to go for a nice little turtle pop there, maybe into backflip flick. He's found that as well. Unfortunately, he's not readily available to put that one in, but Italic will pass it readily back to him. 44 on the clock now. T1 goes for another musty at the front post. Italic puts this one over to the side as well, and T1 puts that one on target yet again. Italic was there again. However, he has slotted one in, and with 32 seconds on the clock, 7 goals. I mean, we're looking at just a little bit less than 1 goal every, a little bit more than 1 goal every 5 seconds. It's not impossible, but I think a few good kickoffs can really make this work. However, unfortunately, kickoffs have been pretty standard, as you can see from that one right there. No one's really coming out on top. But hang on a second, Italic maybe making an advancement here. Now, he's only 6 down now, funnily enough. 7 minus 1 is
Gotta
6.
say that was
T1 going for a
that was a
bump.
nice little pass from Metallic right there. He just kind of sends it over, and T1, unfortunately, already halfway in his flip. Couldn't really do anything about it. But
Yeah, it's the unfortunate reality. That's why you got to make sure you're not flipping unnecessarily. And Italic had his opportunity to really bring his deficit down, but hitting that one off target is not going to help him. His T1 shot has found this one on target, and Blinken, I do believe this is going to be our winner for today.
it is. It is. I mean, like, look at this move, though. Like, just the precision to get off to the right of that ball and then cut it back to the left. It doesn't seem like much, but the speed and precision there were on another level, really. I mean, it's the little things sometimes that are the hugest.
And there it is as the clock counts down the last few seconds. T1 shot 38 is your $40 1v1 no cap tournament presented to you by Your Throwing. And there it is.
There it is. Well played, everybody in the tournament. You guys all have been absolutely amazing.
What a day.
It's been awesome having a couple of pros up in here. I mean,
yeah, starting to make those big moves. It's unfortunate the pros couldn't really make a full appearance, but it will happen.